2025 review continued. A year written in light. The year wasn't just marked by time, it was marked by testimony. What began as scattered thoughts, prayers, questions, and creative sparks became something far more intentional, a written trail pointing back to truth. Page by page, piece by piece, I wasn't just creating, I was responding. I wrote to wrestle with faith, and in doing so, faith wrestled back. I wrote to ask hard questions, and Scripture answered with patience and clarity. From spoken word to narrative fiction, from teaching to poetic declaration, every work carried the same heartbeat, to tell the truth about Jesus Christ in a world that keeps trying to rename him. This year gave birth to Flipping the Tracks, a spoken word series that took familiar sounds and redirected them toward eternal meaning. Songs once rooted in emotion and ambiguity were rewritten into declarations of sovereignty, sacrifice, resurrection, and hope. Each piece wasn't about reclaiming music, it was about reclaiming attention, turning ears toward Scripture and hearts toward Christ. I wrote about the cross. I wrote about the tomb. I wrote about the weight of sin and the greater weight of grace. And I didn't soften the truth to make it palatable. Alongside the poetry came story, deep, grounded, and unapologetically biblical. A detective series set on the west side of Chicago emerged, not as escapism but as examination. Through Elias Ward, Miriam Cross, and Nathan Cole, justice was explored not merely as law, but as moral accountability under God. These weren't just crime stories, they were parables in modern streets, asking what it means to pursue truth when darkness feels institutional. There were teachings too, Scripture explained plainly, reverently, and applied honestly. Not to impress, but to serve. Not to entertain, but to equip. Every lesson carried the same conviction: the Bible does not need to be updated, it needs to be understood. Even the images created this year weren't decorative. They were visual theology. Worship across nations. Christ victorious over the grave. Humanity unified not by culture, but by praise. Each image was another way of saying what words alone sometimes can't: God is still on the throne, and creation knows it. Through all of it, one truth became undeniable: this work was never about volume, views, or validation. It was about obedience. Some pieces were born out of joy. Others came from grief, longing, or unanswered prayers. But every line was written with open hands. Looking back, I don't see a collection of projects, I see a season of refinement. A year where creativity bowed to conviction. Where storytelling served testimony. Where writing became worship. And this is not a conclusion. It's a marker. A stone of remembrance. Because if this year proved anything, it's this: when you place the pen in God's hands, He doesn't just help you write, He writes you into His purpose.